Welcome back to the channel and to the return of our Who Is series. Our last installment in the series was all about Andretti hotshot Colton Herta, so if you haven't checked that one out, go do so after this. But today is all about the career of a Frenchman who holds the record for most consecutive titles in IndyCar history. That man is Sébastian Bourdais. Finishing off the season with an impressive P8 for AJ Foyt Racing, it looks like it was the performance that would be his last as a full-time driver across 19 years, where he ran 13 full seasons. So let's delve a little deeper into this fascinating career and ask, who is Sébastian Bourdais?
Bourdais was born on the 28th February 1979 in his hometown in Le Mans. I guess no surprise at all, a career in racing followed after being from the home of the largest endurance motorsport race in the world. He now calls the streets of St. Petersburg his home, both on track and off it, but more on that later. It wasn't only being from Le Mans that helped Sebastian find his way into racing. His father Patrick also was a driver racing touring cars, hill climbs and sports cars. His father's best results at the 24 Hours of Le Mans was a 6th place class finish in 1996, driving a Porsche 911 GT2. Seb's own career started in the 90s when he started to race karts at the age of 10. In 1991 and 1993, he won the Main Breton League. But his huge achievement came in 1996 at the age of 16, where he won the 24 Hours of Le Mans! Well, the kart race, being part of the Sloan karting team at the Circuit du Alain Prost.
The year before this achievement, Bourdais had made his first steps into single-seaters, and as always, if I found some photos and footage around this time, it would be a miracle. Didn't people know Sebastian was going to be a star? In the 1995 season, he would drive in the Formula Campos series, and Patrick recalls a standout weekend at Dijon. During a race at Dijon in Campos, Sebastian put a second between him and his competitors on a track that was wet, then dry. He had never driven on that track before, yet he won both races starting 16th and 12th. It was that day that Seb's dad truly believed he could have a career in racing. The FFSA Academy, or as it was known back in Sebastian's day, La Filière, was an academy created by French oil company ELF in 1993 to promote French drivers at the highest level. Sebastian was part of the program between 1996 and 1999. Between 1996 and 1997, Bourdais competed in the Formula Renault French Championship, finishing 7th in 96 and 2nd in 97. In the latter season, he secured 4 wins and 5 pole positions. From 98 to 99, Bourdais competed in the French Formula 3 Championship, coming 6th and Rookie of the Year in his first season, and then claiming his first single-seater title in his second season with 8 wins and 3 poles. He wrote his name alongside other great French drivers such as Francois Sever, Alain Prost and Jean Alesi, who progressed to F1, which at this stage would have been the dream for Bourdais.
One of those drivers would play a part in the next stage of his career as Sebastian progressed to Formula 3000, joining the Prost Junior team, Gaulois Formula. In his first season, Bourdais would finish 9th with a best finish of 2nd. The championship was won by a driver Seb would later come up against and drive alongside as a teammate in Champ Car, Bruno Junqueira. The following season, Seb joined Dams and improved to 4th in the championship, securing 3 podiums that season, including his first victory in the series at the Silverstone Round. The 2001 championship was won by another driver Seb would compete against late in his career stateside in Justin Wilson. But 2002 saw another team change for Bourdais, joining Supernova Racing and again improving on his previous season results, this time clinching the title of 8 podiums, including 3 wins, beating out Giorgio Pantano to the title by 2 points, as Thomas Enge, who had secured the most points, finished 3rd after the Czech driver was penalised for failing a drug test.
In that final F3000 series, Bourdais had also been the test driver for the Arrows Formula 1 team, but this failed to materialise into a drive as the team went bankrupt before the start of the 2003 season, and his other option with Renault failed to materialise into anything concrete. Newman Haas Racing would then offer him the opportunity stateside to join Car, and then as it would become, Champ Car. Sebastian took the offer and you could say it worked out pretty well. In his rookie season he finished 4th with 5 pole positions and 3 wins. Teammate Bruno Junqueira would finish runner-up to Paul Tracy, but the signs were there for a successful partnership between Seb and Newman Haas. I don't know if they foresaw how successful it would be though. Between 2004 and 2007, Seb won 4 back-to-back championships, completely dominating the Champ Car era and becoming the first and only man to date to win 4 consecutive titles in American open wheel racing. Out of the 73 races he entered, he secured 31 poles and 31 wins, giving him a win percentage of 42.4%, making him the 6th most winningest driver in series history and set the record for number of wins in a season with 8 in 2007. That's a lot of winning! During this period as well, there weren't many tracks over his 5 years in Champ Car that he didn't win at, but if you could call Seb a specialist at any track style, it would be street courses, with 15 of his 31 wins coming on the circuits. At Long Beach he shone in particular, winning 3 back-to-back races. It was just a fantastic period of Bourdais' career where he found a home with a team who really supported him and he really made the most of the opportunity. With the reunification of the series and formation of IndyCar as we know it in 2008, Sebastian's chapter with Newman Haas came to an end and an opportunity he thought had passed him by and now opened up to him after his Champ Car success.
That, of course, was the promised land of Formula 1. Nicolas Todt had made it his goal to get a Frenchman into Formula 1 and had identified Sebastian as that man. After 3 test sessions with Toro Rosso, he had done enough to prove himself and was signed for the 2008 season alongside Sebastian Vettel. Bourdais started off strong in Melbourne, running 4th before his car retired 2 laps from the end. After 6 races into the season, the team introduced the new TR3, which French Sebastian struggled to adapt to, but German Sebastian shone in it with 9 top 10 finishes to Bourdais' 3, including the team's first ever win at Monza. Vettel went on to Red Bull for the 2009 season and the rest is history there, and Sebastian had shown enough potential at the end of the season to be retained by the team for the 2009 season. Unfortunately for Seb, he had struggled to find the kind of form that had made him such a force in Champ Car, and despite 2 points finishes, struggled to match new teammate Sebastian Bourdais, and Toro Rosso had seen enough. They decided that Bourdais wasn't the right Seb for them, and he was replaced by Jem Alguersuari. As quickly as Sebastian's F1 dream had materialised, it had gone. To round off 2009, Seb was a part of Super League Formula, a strange series that wanted to combine people's love of motorsport and football. Seb represented Sevilla. He won his debut weekend and won in Monza that year, and then in 2010 he signed for Lyon. But the States beckoned again for Sebastian as he looked to reignite his career that had begun to stall.
In 2011, Sebastian returned to IndyCar with Dale Coyne on a road and street course only calendar, with 5 top 10 finishes in his 9 race starts that year. The following season he moved to Dragon Racing, the team run by Roger Penske's son, Jay. He had a 2-year stint at the team that initially struggled after being powered by the ill-fated Lotus engine before switching to Chevrolet after 4 races in 2012. Seb's first season with the team saw him secure a best result of 4th at Mid-Ohio that saw him share a seat with Catherine Legge as Bourdais ran road and street courses and Legge ran ovals. 2013, Sebastian ran a full season for the team and secured 3 podiums that year, including a 2nd place finish at Toronto. But when Jay Penske wanted to withdraw and switch his focus to Formula E, the opportunity did not excite Seb and stayed in IndyCar, joining Jimmy Vasser's KV Racing Technology team. This would bring Seb his first success in the series since returning to the States after the reunification, as he would earn pole and claim victory in the first race at Toronto that season. He would earn another pole that season at Mid-Ohio, finishing 2nd that time in the race, and would go on to a 10th place finish in the championship, his best since 2007. 2015 also saw Bourdais stand on the top step of the podium, but he would do it twice this year with wins at the 2nd race at Detroit and Milwaukee, again coming 10th in the standings. His final season with KVSH Racing was still successful, with another win at Detroit making him a back-to-back winner at the street course, but he finished 14th for the team that season. With personnel changes and a limited budget, it always makes racing more difficult. and Seb himself was left disappointed as he had seen real potential with the team.
2017 saw a return to Dale Coyne Racing for Sebastian, taking the number 18 car, racing alongside rookie Ed Jones. It could not have started any better for Seb as he won the season opener and his hometown race of St. Pete, following it up with a second place finish at Long Beach. A mix of 3 races followed before heading to Indianapolis. Bourdais looked quick in qualifying. He was flying out there and on pace with the pole time. But on lap 3 of his 4-lap run, he had a big crash. Seb suffered multiple fractures to his pelvis, a fractured right hip and various ribs as the shunt ruled him out for the majority of the rest of the season. In his long career, that car might have been his best chance of the 500 glory, as his rookie teammate Ed Jones took his car to a 3rd place finish the following weekend. It will be recited to the world of what ifs and maybes as Sato claimed his first 500 crown that year. After completing the final 3 rounds of 2017 season, Sebastian was back to full fitness for the 2018 season, with his ride being the first entry of the Dale Coyne-Vassar-Sullivan partnership, and he started off in style again, winning at St. Pete for the 2nd year in a row, making it the 5th consecutive season he had secured at least 1 win in the series. He would secure his first pole position since 2014 in the championship at Phoenix, where he would also claim fastest lap on the way to a 13th placed finish. He secured 1 more podium at Portland that year, finishing 7th in the standings, his best in the IndyCar era. 2019 was another consistent season with 9 top 10 finishes, including a podium at Barber. But at the end of the season, Sebastian parted ways with the team as he was replaced in the Vassar-Sullivan entry by his 2019 rookie teammate Santino Ferrucci, and a young Spaniard Alex Palou joined the team. 2020 had then left Seb without a ride. Several rounds were discussed to be participated in with AJ Foyt Racing, but when COVID hit, it put those plans on hold until the end of the season, where he would run the last 3 rounds, where he secured an impressive P4 on the streets of St. Petersburg in the season finale. 2021 was a year that showed plenty of promise with AJ Foyt, but after being taken out in both races in Texas, the season stalled and never really got going again. There were highlights like a 5th place finish at Gateway and a performance in the season finale at Long Beach, where he went from last to 8th, but a season again of what could have been for Seb.
Throughout his single-seater career, Sebastian has regularly been competing in sports car events, and he has been quite accomplished within that field. He first entered Le Mans in 1999, but it wouldn't be until 2007 when he partnered up with Peugeot that he would be machinery that really stood a chance of claiming overall victory at the famed race. 2007, 2009 and 2011 saw Seb finish 2nd, and in 2010 his car had secured pole but retired in the race with a mechanical issue. 2009 Seb recalls as being the most heartbreaking, as he feels it's the one he should have won, as they were controlling the race before a mechanical issue put them 3 laps down before recovering to the lead lap and P2, and after an issue with Audi, Peugeot fixed the positions to bring home a 1-2, much to the frustration of Bourdais. In 2016, Sebastian finally got a class victory at Le Mans on the 50th anniversary of Ford winning their first Le Mans. He piloted the Ford GT entry alongside Joey Hand and Dirk Muller. Seb had now claimed victories at both his hometown races. Bourdais has also won the 3 biggest endurance racing events in America, with overall victories at Daytona, Sebring and Petit Le Mans. And sports car racing is where the next stage of his career will take him, as a full-time ride with Chip Ganassi and IMSA is heavily rumoured as they expand their entry to 2 prototype cars, and with the promise Chip Ganassi Racing have shown in their return to sports car racing this season, he will have a very good chance of adding an IMSA title to his long list of career honours.
Now a little bit more about Sebastian the person. In 2006 he married French track and field star Claire Renault, who he shares 2 children with. Like a lot of drivers, Seb loves an active pastime, and for him that is cycling, which he is an avid fan of. He has also, off-track, built a strong friendship with Marshall Pruett, and from that friendship formed the French fry half of the hamburger and French fry show on the Racer channel, where Marshall and Bourdais will give their opinions and insights into the race weekend as it happens and post-race. It has been great for fans to see Sebastian's personality more in these shows, and like the rest of the IndyCar grid, he is just like a normal guy. But his insight from someone who has been involved in the sport for so long is always great to listen to.
Sebastian Bourdais has experienced a career of highs and lows in both his experience of single-seaters and sports cars. His dominance with Newman Haas racing in Champ Car was something truly to be respected and admired. He was definitely at the peak of his powers during this time. Formula 1 was the dream, but unlike in Newman Haas, you never felt like Toro Rosso and the Red Bull program truly believed in him. But Sebastian himself was also not able to put together a consistent run that showed the world of F1 what he was really capable of. With his Champ Car record and being competitive on his return to American open wheel racing, it is a surprise that one of the larger outfits did not take a punt on him during the 2010s. But maybe it was his record at the Indy 500 that let him down, as he had a highest finish of 7th and only finished in the top 10 twice in his 9 attempts at the historic race. With 37 wins and 34 poles in the series with his 4 championships, he definitely leaves a positive legacy on the series, but there still feels an element of what if to his career. What if he had joined a Penske or Ganassi? Could he have recreated his Champ Car form? Might he have been an Indy 500 winner? We'll just never know. But his career isn't done yet, and I imagine entry to the Indy 500 is also not done yet. They say the race chooses the winner at Le Mans and at the Indy 500. Well, maybe they will still choose Sebastian before he hangs up his racing boots.
But that's it for today's video. We hope you've enjoyed this return to the Who Is series and have enjoyed learning more about Sebastian Bourdais' career. Look out next week for a season review podcast with a special mystery guest. And as always, you can leave suggestions for post-season feature video requests in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding that bell.
Ding it! So for now, you Indy fans, keep racing!